introduce our next speaker, Mr. Edward, Principal and Chief Learning Evangelist at Global Academy of Holistic Leadership and Coaching, CEO at Prerona Television Canada, Edmonton, Canada, to share his view on topic the role of innovation and entrepreneurship in education for achieving sustainable development goals. Over to you, sir.
All right. Uh, I'm humbled and it's my honor to share my thoughts with you, all the eminent speaker and educators. So today I'll be sharing with you a few thoughts about entrepreneurship and innovation. My background, 20 years, I taught number of university in India, Bangladesh, and Canada. But last 8 years, since 2012, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and now I'm an edupreneur. So I have seen ups and downs. So I will also share my experience as a practitioner or as an entrepreneur, not only the academics, but also in terms of my experience, what are the challenges that entrepreneurs are facing. So, let's see where okay. So as you know that we already discussed, I won't go into much details, but innovation and entrepreneurship is very important. As you know, it boosts economic growth by introducing innovative technologies, products, and services. And we know that we have increased competitions, and due to pandemic, we do have a lot of challenges, and it's becoming very competitive. And entrepreneurs provide new job opportunities for short and long term. Now we are especially focused on school education, how we can integrate on innovation and entrepreneurship. Now here, I would like to share with you one poem, which is, I like to bring positivity. I like to bring that positivity to you. So the poem for all entrepreneurs, I say the road to success is paved with tests. So you have got to believe in yourself above the rest. Dream big and let your passion shine. If you don't, you won't end up with a dime. Challenge the status quo, disrupt the market, and say yes. And remember that innovation is an endless quest. Don't forget to change business for good. If you want to change the world, then you should. If you think with your head and listen to your heart, I promise you'll get off to a flying start. Make bold moves, but always play fair. Always say, please and thank you. It's cool to care. Do what you love and love what you do. This advice is nothing new. Now stop worrying about whether your business will be a hit. Rise to a challenge and say, screw it, let's do it. I'd like to share with you a very brief experience. I'm an edupreneur now. Last November, we got licensed as a institute, a college here in Canada. But before that, I started a television channel like named Prerona Television. Prerona means inspiration. When I first started the television channel here, a lot of people discouraged me, and I didn't know how to start, and it was a bit of a great journey that when I started that channel, it's a lot of work, and I don't have any experience, working in media industry. So it was actually interesting. Like you might, as an entrepreneur, you will be getting a lot of challenges. Even your own family members, your friends, they might discourage you. But entrepreneurs, you have to go forward. I'd like to share with you one more quote here. I said, I believe anything is possible. I see opportunity when others see impossibility. I take risk, I'm focused, I hustle. I know that nothing is unrealistic. I feel overwhelming love. I embrace my childlike wonder and curiosity. I take flying leaps into the unknown. I contribute to something bigger than myself. I create, I learn, I grow, I do. I believe it's never too late to start living a dream. I'm an entrepreneur. And as I'm personally sharing with you, I'm an entrepreneur. And I call like an edupreneur now because I'm in education industry. So I encourage, as an educator, like you also encourage the students so that they can also be an entrepreneur. We need entrepreneurs. Now, these are the actually the right, the how these entrepreneurships are actually embedded into this. So we need to at least understand here that entrepreneurship as a core course of business education, and we can see how we can how it is related to there are also indigenous practice-based knowledge creation. There is also a research-based knowledge creation, and there is a core course effectiveness and pedagogical efficiency. So this is very important how to understand as an educator, because I think right, most of you are educators, eminent educators, and you have been practicing in your field. Now these are the right, different parties. I think you can get social entrepreneurship or any entrepreneurship you can call it, but there are actually role as an individual. There is also as a corporation, also government or other NGOs or other agencies. So as an individuals or as an educator, or what should be our role? We need to focus on that. Now this is the process that entrepreneurship that we can say. So what we can say is like developing a business plan, and then we can find resourcing, and then managing company, harvesting, discovery. So these are the process that we now my challenge as an entrepreneur, as an educator, how you can teach this knowledge or the process to school kids. I remember when I was grade 5, I was given I think less than $100 uh, because we had a fair, sports event, school sports event, annual sports event, and I was given that $100, like not $100. I'm from Bangladesh, so it's 100 taka or rupees. So, and then I actually bought chocolates. So I remember, and then I actually sell the chocolates, and that was my first income. I made profit when I was a grade 5. So just giving encouragement that right, when you invest, and you should also take risk, take challenges. So that was interesting, right, was an entrepreneur, you need to understand the entrepreneurship process. The other thing that I would like to share with you, this just very broad, elaborative process. For entrepreneurs, what we are doing as an educator, you are actually showing them the skills. So we need to also um, uh, focus on skill development, and then problem solving. There is also creativity, as Professor Ruben, Dr. Ruben has already shared. There are also creativity, persuasiveness, and planning, negotiating, decision making. So these are the skills that individuals can get. An attribute, what are the attributes are there? Self-confident, autonomous, achievement-oriented, versatile, dynamic, and resourceful. Now here, excuse me, so the process here, what we can do with that, the process here for entrepreneurship is intentions, triggering events. There is also, right, what we're doing is proactivity, actively seeking goals. And what we can see that here, opportunity search and discovery, you can see innovation, opportunity search, coping with and enjoying uncertainty. There is also decision to exploit opportunities. There is a change, and I think the change management, I'm also change management studied, change management practitioner. So what change can also make a major role here. Taking risky actions in uncertain environment, flexibility, responding to challenges. Now exploitation of opportunities, acting independently on own initiative, solving problems, conflict creatively, persuading others, commitment to make things happen. So these are the things that behavior, right, we can see the behavior. So if you can follow this process, not only as an educator, but also with the students, right, when we are building teams, when they're doing any projects, school projects, how you can embed those tools or techniques or those knowledge to students, and then learn, like teach them how they can, uh, develop those skills. The other thing, this here, I'd like to share with you this entrepreneurship behavior. Already, Professor, the earlier speaker, already shared, but I would like to share with you that that triggering event, that intention has to be there. Understanding about the entrepreneurship, the knowledge. You need to have the knowledge, proper knowledge. I'm learning as a lifelong learner. I'm learning a lot of like boot camps, entrepreneurship boot camps, training and development. This is very important. You need to have knowledge. You also need to have experience in the entrepreneurship process. And then finally, the actions, exploiting the opportunity. That means you have to take an actions. If you don't, I have also failed. As I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've also failed. But if you don't fail, you don't learn. So you have to fail. You have to take steps. Now here, this is my first part of presentation. My second part is actually understanding the quality education, or you can call it holistic education, which is very important as an educator. So this is a quote actually, one of the Sanskrit quote, that education is the best wealth among all. No one can steal it. No state can snatch it. It cannot be divided among the brothers, and it is not heavy to carry. As one consumes or spends, it increases. As one shares, it expands. So it's very important as an educator, is our noble duty to share this knowledge. Now the holistic approach, why I'm talking the holistic approach, when we are focusing on entrepreneurship and innovation to a school kids, this is a very important to have that holistic approach of education. It is concern of the development of every individuals, every person, intellectual, emotional, social, physical, artistic, creative, and spiritual potential. So what it does here, they are engaging students or learners. Teaching and learning process encourages personal and collective responsibility, which is very important. I guess at this stage, that challenges that we are having in pandemic situations, we need to have that holistic perspective of education. The holistic education instill curiosity and develop better communication and social skill. So the holistic approach encourages children to make connections in a subject using their creative skill, develop psychological, social, emotional growth, make learning natural and engaging, which is very important. So these are the holistic education we already shared with you. I think uh, how we can develop this holistic skill as also one of the skill that we need to know as conflict resolution skill, critical thinking skill, emotional development, and then right, there are healthy social skills, manners, character formation. So these are the skills that we need to have, right, when you have holistic education, which is very important. Now my next part of presentation, the last part, which how we can use this emotional intelligence as an educator to uh, provide this education to students, like the innovation and entrepreneurship to students. So EQ is also one of those tools. There are many others, but EQ, the EQ is ability to understand, use, manage your own emotions in a positive way, to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenge, and diffuse conflict. One other thing I'd like to share with you, we do have two, right, we also provide virtual education. Also, we do provide physical, in-person education. So these are the challenges, like the great challenge for us, like how we can um, uh, use our tools and techniques, all right, to at least tools and techniques to teach the student. Now here, one of the other course about is in Sanskrit, I think is found these slokas from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 15. It said, a person who is calm and remain unperturbed by either pain or pleasure, that is the one who attain immortality. So what is the lesson here is, and as an educator, we need to have that calmness, or we need to have that emotional intelligence, so that we can be a better and effective instructor, or teacher, or educator. Now, the next one, I won't go into that details, but I would like to focus on emotional intelligence. There are 5 areas where you can say the self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, social skills, and motivation. Now here, this is very important when you are educating, like when you are like a school children, that innovation and entrepreneurship, we need to understand how this intrapersonal, interpersonal, right, skills can be taught. Now here, the, we can see the emotion, the self-awareness. The first, we need to have the self-awareness, and then self-management, how we can manage ourselves. And then for work, we can say self-performance. And for interpersonal, we can say social awareness, relationship management, people's performance. So these are the things, skill, I guess, uh, as an educator, you need to attain. um, I'm a certified coach too, but as a lifelong learner, I'm also learning these skills, and it's very important for an educator to learn those skills. uh, I won't go into that details, but share with you very briefly that how you can develop the self-awareness. The self-awareness, the ability to recognize, understand your own emotion, right? Are we, as an educator, are we understanding our own emotion? Critical emotional intelligence skill. This is very important to understand our emotional state. We need to be aware what we are doing. We need to also capable of monitoring our own emotion. So here we need to understand our strength and our limitations. There are many ways that you can do that. There you have a lot of feedback tools and everything, that how you can get know your own strength and limitations. So this is very important to also have a good sense of humor. Uh, like as previous speaker, as a very passionate, I can see his presentation, right? We need to have a good sense of humor, also very passionate about this education. So self-awareness is very important. There are many ways that you can improve the self-awareness. Like especially we want to focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. So how you can instill this uh, these particular tools, techniques to students, now how you can improve self-awareness. So there are, we can ask constructive feedbacks, keep journals, learn new skill, meditate. There are many others. Practice mindfulness, set goals, use positive self-talk. So these are the tools that we can use for self-awareness. The next one is called self-regulation, which is very important. So after the self-awareness, how we can regulate or manage our own emotion. As you know that uh, we uh, we when we say the self-regulation, it is all about expressing emotion appropriately. As an educator, it is very challenging. Even though you are in virtual environment, you need to express your emotion. I remember when I was in school, I can see many instructor or many teachers, some of them, they don't have or they lack, right, how to act appropriately. It is very important. Now, during this pandemic, I guess as an educator, you need to act appropriately. You have to use your emotion appropriately. So self-regulation is very important. And Goldman also suggests that with strong self-regulation skills are highly, right, high in consciousness, and they are thoughtful about how they influence others, and they take responsibility for their own actions. And as an educator, it is our responsibility to take we should take a responsibility for our own action, which is very important. So there are um, many ways how can improve self-regulations. Be mindful of thoughts and feeling. Will uh, distress tolerance skill, which is very important. I know when I was an educator here, I taught in Asia and also in Canada. So we can see cultural, right, there is a cultural shock, how students are reacting and things. So sometimes, you need to have this uh, distress tolerance skill. Some students may not be respectful, they are very violent, or they're very not. So how you can build a distress tolerance skill? Find ways to manage difficult emotion, look challenges as opportunities, practice your communication skill, and use cognitive reframing and change thoughts patterns and emotion responses. Work on accepting your emotion. Now the next is called empathy, the social awareness or empathy. So what do you want? Empathy is the ability to understand how others are feeling, is absolutely critical to emotional intelligence. But it involves more than just being able to recognize emotion states of others. It also involves people based on the information. So when you sense that someone is feeling sad or hopeless, how do you respond? So you might treat them with extra care or concern, or you might make an effort to buy their spirit. Being empathetic also allows you to understand power dynamics that often influence social relationships, especially in workplace settings. This is important for guiding your interactions with different people you encounter each day. Those competent in this area are able to sense who possesses power in different relationships. They also understand how these forces influence feelings and behavior. Because of this, they can accurately interpret different situations that hinge on such power dynamics. So it's very important, right? Have that build your social awareness skill. So there are many ways that you can build this empathy. Be willing to share your own feeling, engage in cause such as community projects. I've been volunteering with Rotary or many other projects recently, and then I actually learned a lot of things. I learned from many youths, many, right, engaging in community projects. I also, as a coach, I'm now listening, empathetic listening. I learned so many things. And I also gain more clients as an entrepreneur. After I'm just listening to my clients, I said, yes, I'm gaining more clients right now. And this is what is, right, you need to have that empathetic listening. Practice loving kindness meditations. Talk to new people. Try to imagine yourself in someone else's place. That's empathy. The next one is the self-motivation, or you can call it motivation. Those intrinsic motivation is another important emotional intelligence skill. People who are emotional intelligence are motivated by things beyond external rewards like fame, money, recognitions, and acclaim. Now, instead of being passion or fulfill their own inner needs and goals, they seek to internal rewards, experience flow from being totally in tune with an activity and pursue peak experiences. Those who are competent in this area tend to be action oriented. They set goals, have a high need for achievement, and they are always looking for ways to do better. They also tend to be very committed and they're good at taking initiative. Now, how you can improve this motivation? Uh, you can avoid overusing intrinsic reward. Celebrate your result, like small, like right now I'm just celebrating my result, like I do small task at a time and then I celebrate the result. It's very rewarding. Focus on small and measurable goal. Introduce challenges to keep things interesting, and set goals to help build intrinsic motivation. Work with trained coworker to find accountability. And the next one is social skill, like being able to interact with well with other. Important aspect of emotional intelligence. Having strong social skill allow people to build meaningful relationship with other people and develop stronger understanding of themselves and others. Now, true emotional understanding involves more than just understanding your own emotions and those of others. You also need to be able to put this information to work in your daily interactions and communications. In a professional settings, managers benefit by being able to build relationships and connections with employees. Worker benefits from being able to develop a strong rapport with leaders and co-workers. Important social skills include active listening, verbal communication skill, non-verbal communication skill, leadership, and persuasiveness. So this is social skill. How we can develop this social skill? Ask open-ended questions. Find icebreakers that will help start conversation. Notice others people's social skill and practice good eye contact. Eye contact is very important, right? You need to focus on the person. That persons feel that you are with them, you respect, you love them. Practice your social skill. Practice active listening. Show interest in the others. Watch body language. Some body languages can be offensive to other, right? We need to also have culture education. Some colors can be also offensive to others. So you need to be aware of those things. Now, you might ask question that why I sharing this emotional intelligence? Because as an entrepreneur, I learned, I'm certified like emotional intelligence coach also. So when I actually learn emotional intelligence, I gain more clients. uh, and I have a now approach like with my I have an empathetic listen. I listen to clients. I listen to my right all the clients, and it is actually helping me to gain more businesses. So And as an educators, like when we are talking about school educations, innovation and entrepreneurships, we can embed this emotion entrepreneurship by using the emotion and intelligence tools and techniques. With that, thank you very much. It is my honor and privilege that I shared with you some information. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for speaking to us on this conference. Now, I would like to take a question by Mr. George. He's asking like humanity plus patience plus self-management is equal to how important are these for the educators and the entrepreneurial team?
Sorry, I didn't. Okay, what's the question?
Humanity plus patience plus self-management. How these things are important for the educators and the entrepreneurial team.
You know that first we need to ask why you were in this particular industry, right? Education. So when we use those what has been discussed, I think it is very important when we have these things, then you are equipped. You feel that you are competent. You feel you have you have the skill to share with this one. And when learners or the students are actually adding with you, you will be having you will be a great resource to them. So it is very important to have those.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we would like to take the question by Shri Devi. It seems like she's having some technical issue. I was going through the comments, sir. The students were really saying that the educators were really saying that you moved the 360-degree in the field of entrepreneurship. Their minds have been really stick towards the particular thing, but after having your session, we really loved it, and we really seems like that it's all going to help us in the future. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so
Sorry, I
much
took
for.
some time, extra time. Sorry. I
It's
just
okay,
yeah.
sir. It's okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir, for sharing your personal opinion. It was really appreciable. Thank you.
Thank you.